Okay, so this is Mr. Lowe. Welcome back. We're going to be talking about A, B, and C level questions. So as part of this class, we want to be looking to try to achieve as much as we can. But having said that, we know that there's time constraints. There's maybe some struggles with materials. That's fine. But so we're going to differentiate a little bit, and we're going to have C, B, and A level questions for you guys. So what that means is that um, well, just as a quick note before we get started, summative tests, right? So all our tests are going to be summative, which means it's going to be everything in the chapter. So you have to be prepared for that. And all of those tests are going to be all levels. So you should try for one level higher than you think you can do because the way the grading's set up, if you shoot for only a C level for everything, which is the minimum level, and then you suddenly miss one, it could drop you down to a D or F. So right, if you want to see, you should shoot for all the B level questions, and that way, even if you miss one, you'll still end up with a C. Same thing. If you want a B, shoot for the A level questions. So that way, if you start to miss something, it should only drop you down to a B, B plus, right? And you'll still be in good shape with a little bit of a buffer. Also, it means that our mini quizzes, our hot seat or ring of fire, if you're used to that, are going to be C level questions. Okay, so just C level questions. It's just to check before we move on that we know what we're doing. Okay, so C levels are nice to know. Okay, so nice to know stuff. Or sorry, C levels are need to know stuff. Need to know basic questions, right? Minimal steps. You're showing what you already know. Okay, so that means little or no change to the form that we've seen before, or might be in our notes, and we can show our knowledge right away. Okay, no questions about it. So B levels are going to be our nice to knows. That means there might be a few extra steps. The form that you're given might look a little bit different, but that just means that you have to change it to something you already know, right? Just using a little bit of algebra, try to work out which one, or make it try to look like something you already know, right? So it's going to require a little bit of past knowledge of your algebra. It might require a little bit of past knowledge of geometry to try to get those B-level questions. And I know I say that, and it might be intimidating to some of you, but it's not going to be a problem. Don't worry about it. We're going to still be looking at some of these B-levels in class. We're going to be working together. And so this will be very, very attainable for many students. A level, this is like above and beyond. It's that application and analysis stage, which is still very, very attainable for a lot of students. So you might hear some of your teachers talk about application and analysis. It just means that you can apply your knowledge to something that you already that you don't know yet, right? So solutions may not have been seen before. And past knowledge, of course, is needed because it's needed in the B level, so of course it's needed in the A level. And a diagram may not be provided. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do one, it just means it might not be provided at the moment. So if you're looking at the book, a good example is A level questions are usually the stuff in purple, or they usually start with one section before with the error correction section. So if you see those blue highlighted questions where the student has done something wrong and you're supposed to correct it, then around there is where the A level starts. Okay, and really we should be trying all of those questions, but of course I'll pick and choose which ones I think will be the best for you to try to apply that knowledge that you have, right? And one example is needed that comes straight to mind is like a distance formula question. So if you are, because I've seen it like a million times, if you're maybe you're in a city and usually you visit, let's see, this is the library and this is your home, and usually, so you don't get lost, visit the library first, and then you go to this building, which is, I don't know, let's say City Hall. And you want to know the direct route. How much faster is the direct route there? You would have to draw a diagram like this first, or you should, and then you'd find this distance here. There to there. And if the question might also ask what's the difference, right? So you might also, so let's call this D1. You might also have to know this distance over here, D2. and D3. And this is, again, distance formula, which we should all be very familiar with. If not, then please look at your geometry notes. And if you had Mr. V, actually, if you have any of the geometry teachers, you should have fairly good notes on that. So again, the question might be like, what's the difference in distance? So you'd have to go D1 minus D2 plus D3, right? And that, whatever that distance that is, that's going to be your answer. So that kind of question is going to be an A-level question for sure. All right, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next video.